morning and I welcome you to this session. In the last session, we discussed the concept of availability and the conservation of availability or the availability balance in a closed system. And we recognized that the availability is not conserved the way energy is conserved, which means that if you take the accountability of the energy interactions and the change of energy within the system, which is defined as internal energy, we see that energy is neither created nor destroyed. The total amount of energy at the beginning of a process becomes exactly equal to that at the end of a process. But it is not so for the availability or exergy. We see that exergy is destroyed in all natural processes because of the irreversibility. If the process is reversible, then the exergy is conserved the way energy is conserved. Otherwise, in a natural process which always has irreversibility, exergy is destroyed and the amount of destruction of exergy equals to the irreversibility of the process, which was defined quantitatively as the entropy generation or change of entropy of the universe times the temperature of the environment, a fixed reference temperature of the environment, that is the irreversibility. So, this we recognized for a closed system. So, today we will discuss the same thing for an open system, and there also, as one of you mentioned, I will discuss parallelly what is the entropy balance for a system, closed and open system. To do that, let us again recapitulate what we did last class hurriedly, just in brief, not fully that we will deduce the thing, what just information we gathered in the last class or last session, just now what I have told. So, what is I have told that if there is a closed system, closed system, and if it goes from state 1 equilibrium state to another equilibrium state 2, state 1 to state 2, during which it interacts with the surrounding in the form of heat received. Let we consider the heat is received from a thermal reservoir at temperature Th, whereas the environment temperature is T0, which is a fixed undisturbed surrounding. This environment word is used in thermodynamics, distinguishing it from surrounding. Surrounding is that part of the environment with which a system interacts. In what means that if in case of two interacting systems, one is the surrounding of the other, but environment is the rest part of the surrounding which is undisturbed in the process. You understand? So, that is the environment which is at a temperature T0, based on which we calculate the exergy or availability. And let us consider the system develops some work W, which we already considered in the last class. And if it goes from state 1 to state 2, and if we designate all the properties like pressure, volume, then what else, internal energy U1, we consider E if it contains some movable particles, that means kinetic energy, also potential energy with respect to a reference datum. So, that we consider as a whole the internal energy, not only the intermolecular energy, then T1, S1, and correspondingly the state 2 is V2, V2, E2, T2, S2 and so on, all the properties at state 1, state 2. Again recapitulating the fact that conservation of energy tells that the change in energy stored within the system, that internal energy, is equal to the total energy received by the system. Here we do not care where from the Q is coming, from which temperature, we only consider or we are only concerned with the amount of Q which is coming. So, this is purely the energy balance and our classical statement of conservation of energy or first law. That means the change in internal energy equals to the net amount of energy received by the system in form of heat and work. That means the final energy, that E2 of this system, will be denoted accordingly like that. It will increase or decrease depending upon whether this is plus or minus, whether there is a net energy inflow or outflow from the system. All right, but now mass is constant, that is the definition of the closed system. Now, what about the availability? If you do the same availability balance, we know that if A, which was defined earlier, A2 is the availability of the system at state 2, then if availability could have been conserved or availability was neither destroyed or nor created, the way energy was the way the energy quantities do, we could have written that the change in availability equals to the availability added to the system, that means the availability associated with this heat from a thermal reservoir TH with respect to a exergy environment temperature or reference environment temperature Q is 1 minus T. That means, this is the availability which has come into the system with Q minus the availability which has gone out. This will be W minus the work which is lost in compressing the surrounding. So, this is the net availability coming out, this is the net availability coming in. So, this is the net availability coming into the system. So, this could have been like this, but we have seen that this change is not equal to this, rather this is minus I, where I is greater than 0, which is the irreversibility. I is called to irreversibility. Irreversibility. I is irreversibility and is defined as T0 into delta S universe or T0 into sigma entropy generation. What is this? This is the delta S entropy change of the universe or entropy generation in this process, by which the system goes from state 1 to state 2 by interacting with surrounding in the form of heat and work. So, therefore, we see the change in the availability is not equal to the net availability transfer. That means, the availability A2 should be A1 plus, let us consider this quantity as AT, availability transferred in this entire quantity, plus AT minus I. So, this is the basic equation for the availability transfer. Here one thing you have to understand, just like entropy, always we see that entropy of the universe increases, but not that entropy of a system will increase. It may decrease depending upon the condition. Similarly, the availability of the reduced, the total availability is reduced or destructed, but the system availability may increase or may decrease. Now, here the A2 may decrease or A2 may increase depending upon the relative magnitude of AT and I. AT is the total availability transfer. Now, in case when availability transfer is positive, this quantity is positive and it is more than the availability destroyed, then obviously A2 will increase. A2 may increase or decrease depending upon the relative magnitude of this quantity. When there is a net inflow of availability to the system or transferred in, then definitely A2 will increase provided the destruction is less, but its increase will not be equal to A1 plus AT, but A1 plus AT minus some quantity. That means, the availability is destroyed in the process. Whether the system gains in availability or reduces or decreases in availability, but this change in availability will not be equal to the total availability transferred, but with a quantity minus I, which is the availability destroyed. This we discussed in the last class. How did we prove it? We first proved what is the availability function. At any state this availability function or availability is defined as E plus P0 V minus T0 S, where S, V, E are the properties of the system, that is the internal energy, volume and entropy, and P0, T0 are the temperature of the surrounding. This T0 and another the P0 is the pressure of the surrounding. In case of a stationary system, these E quantities will be substituted by U, that is intermolecular energy. Stationary system means where we consider that the kinetic energy is 0, and also if you consider the changes in potential energy to be negligible, then E can be replaced as U. So, this is known as the availability function or simply availability referred to a single state. First we proved this from the concept of availability by its definition, then we proved that availability is destroyed in a closed system. Now, the same thing we will discuss now for an open system, but before that I feel, as you have pointed out rightly, side by side we should write the equation for entropy. Now, you see, this is the equation for energy balance, this is the equation for availability balance, sorry, including this I, this is the availability balance, or you can see this where AT is this minus this net availability transferred in. So, why not side by side we write the entropy equation. So, that is why this question which one of you asked me, sir, entropy flow and all these things will be sorted out. Now, in case entropy equation we can write now S2 minus S1, that is the change of entropy, plus this minus, rather this will be minus Q by TH. is equal to what? Delta S universe, or whatever you can write, sigma or sigma. So, this you see the change of entropy of the system. This you can considered as in this side Q by Th plus sigma. So, you see that the change of entropy of this system does not equal to Q by Th. This Q by Th is actually, if you follow this classical reversible thermodynamics terminology, delta S system plus delta S surrounding that I told earlier is delta S universe, which is nothing but the entropy generation. So, this is delta S surrounding. This can be considered as an entropy flow to this system, equivalent to the entropy flow. This can be considered as an equivalent entropy flow of the system. If you consider this, then we see from this equation the increase in entropy is not equal to the entropy flow of the system. That means, entropy is also not conserved the way energy is conserved, rather it is conserved the way exergy is conserved. That means, exergy is destroyed, entropy is created. That means, you see, somewhere we have gained, somewhere we have lost. You understand? The usefulness is reduced, but the unusefulness is increased. That means, we do not want an increase in entropy. Entropy is increased, but availability is reduced, and they are linked. Because of the increase in the entropy, the availability is reduced. You understand the total entropy. That means, if you consider an entropy bank, you consider an reservoir, entropy reservoir and entropy bank, you consider an exergy reservoir and exergy bank of the universe. So, while the entropy bank is increased, the amount of entropy is increased due to any natural processes encountered day to day, the availability bank or reserve in the availability is destroyed. You see that the increase in entropy of the system is more than the entropy which is received, if you consider this in terms of the entropy received plus the entropy production or entropy generation, which is nothing but the delta S universe. And earlier also I have shown that three equations simultaneously, the same form, where we can recognize one is delta S system, another is delta S surrounding or entropy flow to the system, that becomes equal to the sigma is equal to the total change in the entropy of the universe or the entropy generation. This is the closed system entropy balance. For an open system, things will little change because of the mass flux across the system boundary. I think this is clear. The energy balance, the availability balance, and vis-a-vis the entropy balance of a closed system. These are given by this equation, this equation, this equation. And you see whether energy quantity remains constant, the availability and the entropy quantity are not constant, availability is reduced and entropy is increased. Okay? Now, you come to the same thing for a open system. Okay, let us consider an open system or a control volume. Open system or a control volume. Open system or a control volume. Well, control volume. Let us consider an inflow, one single stream of inflow and outflow. So, this is let us consider this is inflow and let us consider this as outflow. Well, now only difference is that there is a continuous inflow and continuous outflow, and since an open system always operates in this way, there is a continuous inflow and continuous outflow. So, that is why open system is a continuous system. So, things are always analyzed in terms of the rate process. So, therefore, I first designate section 1 and section 2 the way I designated state 1, state 2 for a closed system, the open system 1, 2, and I designate everything in terms of the rate, that means dot. Dot means the derivative with respect to time. M1 dot is the rate at which mass enters to the open system. Similarly, here the specific values of these properties are required. Internal energy, as you have already seen earlier, that plus P1 V1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. What is GZ1? Z1 is the elevation compared to or measured from any reference datum. Then this quantity represents the specific energy, total energy per unit mass associated with the flowing stream. It is a repetition that it is the internal energy, this is the flow work, this is the kinetic energy, this is the potential energy. That means when this flux is introduced into the open system, along with this flux, this amount of specific energy, that is flow energy, sometimes we call it as flow energy is being introduced into the open system. Similar is the case here. If we write that m2 dot is the mass flow rate, then we can write the similar way this quantity u2 plus p2 v2 plus v2 square by 2 plus gz2. So, u2 plus p2 v2 plus v2 square by 2 plus gz2. Can you see that p2 v2? Okay, very good. I will write it in little bigger font. This is the specific energy coming in. So, first is the mass balance. Now, to do that, we considered in general that mc V is the control volume mass and ECV is the control volume energy, recapitulation of the earlier thing. So, mass balance, the conservation of mass in an open system, the way energy is conserved, the mass is neither created nor destroyed. So, that m1 dot minus m2 dot, that equal to mcv dt, that means the change of mass, that is the first mass conservation. Then what is energy conservation? Energy conservation, if we write here, then we can write m1 dot into, that is the energy. Now, apart from that, we can consider the open system also interacts energy in form of heat and work. Let some heat is being coming to the open system Q. Okay, let some heat is being coming to the open system Q from any reservoir TH, and let this system develop some work W. And here also we consider in terms of the rate del Q del T, not Q, and we consider del W del T. That means this is the rate at which heat is being done added, and this is the rate at which work is being extracted from an open system, which is usually the shaft work. Now, we make an energy balance. Here we can write, we can make an energy balance, and we can write here that the change in the energy dCV dt of the control volume is nothing but the net energy coming into the control volume. Energy is coming in two ways, one due to mass and another due to this heat and work interaction. So, what is the net coming in? One is the m1 dot u1 plus p1 v1 plus v1 square by 2 plus gz1 plus del q del t, it is coming, and what is going out is minus m2. This is with the flow plus v2 square by 2 plus gz2 minus del w del t. So, this is as simple as that. Now, in case of a steady state, we consider this is 0 and this is 0, which is most important. In case of a control volume or open system, this influx and efflux may not be same, both in terms of mass and energy. So, that the property within this open system or control volume may change, but there is a steady state operation where these properties or state variables at inflow and outflow may change because of these W and Q interactions, but the total energy coming in and total energy going out, and this delta W del Q makes the thing steady, which means that the properties within the system does not change with time, which means both ECV and MC remains invariant with the MCV remains invariant with the time. So, in that case what happens? M1 dot is equal to M2 dot, that means the mass flow rate at inlet and outlets are same. Let this is M dot. So, if this is 0 and if M1 dot M2 dot are equal, then conventionally we write this equation under steady flow condition in terms of the mass balance. You understand, in terms of the not mass balance, in terms of the per unit mass. That means then we can write U1 plus P1 V1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1 minus U2 plus P2 V2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2. We can write, we can take this side del W del T minus, that means this gives you a clear picture that there is a balance between the energy transfer because of the mass flow and because of the heat work interaction. So, this we studied earlier. This is for the steady state. Any problem? This is clear? Del M, sorry, del M per unit mass, del M. Clear? because this is the recapitulation of the earlier thing. Now, you consider if along with this we go for an availability balance, what will be the picture. Okay. Now, let us draw the same diagram again for our same diagram again. Same diagram again. Let us draw the same diagram again. Let this is control volume. Here we will consider only the availability. Similar way, m dot, m1 dot, similar way m2 dot, section 2 to section 1 1. Now, we know that with m1 dot there is an energy coming in, that is m1 into u1 plus p1 v1 plus b1 square by 2 plus dz1. So, with m1 mass flux there is an energy flux. Similarly, with m2 mass flux there is an energy flux. In the similar way, if we consider there is an availability flux which is coming into the control volume because of this state of this flowing stream of fluid of the working system, there is an availability whose specific value we denote as, let AF1. This is because of the flow, and this is known as flow availability, and let us define a flow availability as AF2. So, AF1 and AF2 are known as specific flow availability. Specific flow availability, specific flow availability, because the space is very small, otherwise I could have shown everything in comparison, that energy flux, availability flux, that could have been even better. That means, in case of energy there was a specific energy associated with it, flow, that is H, that means U1 plus P1 V1 H, H1 depending upon the state, plus V1 square by 2 plus dz1. Similarly, if we consider for the time being there is a specific flow availability or specific availability, the availability per unit mass along with the flowing stream exists, then we can consider in the similar way the energy, similar way as we did for the energy, that some specific, at certain rate the availability is coming into the control volume, at certain rate availability is going out of the control volume. This is the most important concept. That means, in a control volume what is the difference with respect to a closed system, that mass flux is there across this boundary. When mass comes in, along with it, it brings energy to the control volume, whose value is m1 dot into the specific flow energy with this, which is the sum of the enthalpy plus the kinetic and potential energy. Similarly, it brings into the control volume some availability. To do that, we define some availability per unit mass with the flow stream at inlet and outlet, and these are defined as specific flow availability. At the time being, first we take for our understanding, then I will find out its expression. And in a similar way, if we consider that Q is given here from a temperature reservoir TH, whereas the environment is at T0, and if we consider similar way, that is del Q del T, and if we consider del W del T, the rate at which work is coming out, and similar to the case of energy and mass, if we consider ACV is the total availability within the control volume at any instant, then one thing we can appreciate just by the method of induction, that dACV dt is never equal to the total availability balance. Now, if we make dACV dt is equal to net availability coming, what is the, now this side I write net availability coming into the control volume. One is coming with the way I did for the energy, then another is coming with the heat. So, it is not the heat quantity, it is the temperature from which reservoir, temperature of the reservoir from which it is coming compared to T0. So, there will be minus minus del Q by T. So, this part will be there. In case of energy, it was only del Q by T minus del W del T, because it is the shaft work, no displacement work, control volume, this is fixed in its volume in the space. So, minus delta, this is the net energy. So, this is plus. So, this is the net availability transferred to the control volume. So, therefore, we see minus m1 m2 dot AF2. That means, the change in the availability of the system is the availability coming in, net availability coming in, this is coming in due to the mass, this is coming in due to the heat flow, this is going out due to the work, this is going out due to the outlet stream. So, if we do that by the process of induction, what we have done so far, we can tell this equality will not hold good, there will be something destroyed. That means, the change in the availability with time will not be equal to the rate at which the availability comes, net rate of availability coming into the control volume. Always we have seen where I is the irreversibility, and that becomes equal to T0 into delta S universe or T0 sigma of the system. I dot, okay, very good, I dot, very correct, I dot is the T0 into delta S dot, the rate at which the entropy is being generated or the rate of change of entropy of the universe. Thank you very much, it is I dot, very good. So, by our common sense and method of induction we can tell. Now, in a steady state obviously this will be 0 and accordingly this minus this I. So, this net rate of availability influx minus I dot is equal to 0. So, this is all right, no problem. So, this is the precise concept parallel to this control volume, the availability balance, parallel to the closed system, the availability balance of a control volume. Now, question comes, what is AF, the flow availability? Now, we will first define this flow availability and find out its expression, then we will be able to prove this. In closed system, what we did, we first found out the expression of availability, then we proved this, the availability is destructed. But in the control volume, to appreciate it in a better way, we have drawn the control volume in terms of the availability, and here we have assumed a concept of flow availability, that is the availability per unit mass associated with the flowing stream both at inlet and outlet, and then we have written actually from the method of induction and from our intuition what we have seen in closed system, that this equals to this minus the irreversibility rate. Of course, everything is in the rate basis, then this becomes this. Now, we will prove this, find out the expression of this, and if we know the expression, automatically this equation will be satisfied. When it is at steady state, this will be 0, then M1 dot M2 dot is same, and then everything can be written in terms of the mass basis. That means, in a steady state I also write that M1 and M2 is same. So, in a steady state one can write this equation AF2 minus AF1, this side if I take, then it becomes del Q del M. Why not? I write for steady state T0 by Th minus del W del M minus I dot I dIdm, all right, dIdm. So, you see in steady state it is again clear that this increase or change in the flow availability is not that the net availability transferred to the system in net availability transferred into the system, but minus some quantity which is the irreversibility per unit mass. The similar way as we have seen in the case for a closed system. All right, this equation is all right. Now, this will be understood. Now, we have written it as an information following the sequence of this, that in a closed system, but now what is this flow availability? Clear? So, then we have to find out the expression for the flow availability, the concept of which we have taken like this, as if there is a control volume and there is an inflow. Now, the flow availability is defined in this way, that if there is a stream of fluid coming into a control volume whose states are specified, for example, U1, PU1, V1, this big V is the velocity, very good, some Z1 from some datum, the potential energy per unit mass, whose specific values are fixed, then the flow availability of this mass of fluid flowing into is defined as the maximum work that can be extracted from this stream of fluid by an operation through a control volume or an open system, all right, by which this stream comes into equilibrium with the fixed environment. The similar way as we have defined the availability in case of a closed system, that closed system is at a state which is different from that of the fixed environment, so that there exists an opportunity to develop work, and what is the maximum work that can be obtained, which is only possible in a reversible process when the system comes to the dead state. Here also, when the flow of fluid stream comes to a dead state, what is that dead state? when its property will be equal to the ambient property and there will be no kinetic energy, mind it. Because if a system at the same pressure temperature of the surroundings, but its velocity is there v, but surrounding means is a fixed reference environment which is at rest, that means its velocity also has to be 0, mind it. And similar way, if you consider the gravitational potential energy, then this state has to coincide with the reference datum of the gravitational potential energy, where from you have measured. It cannot be the absolute scale, the center of the earth, but somewhere from where we measure the gravitational potential energy. But fortunately, in the analysis of thermodynamic systems or thermodynamic processes, the change in gravitational energies for all practical cases, they are quite negligible as compared to the changes of other quantities. So, therefore, we are not much bothered about the gravitational potential energy and where is the datum and all these things, but kinetic energy has to be 0, otherwise a flowing stream cannot come to a dead state. Dead state means if this has got a velocity, we can develop more work by reducing that velocity. So, therefore, a dead state has to be considered. Be careful where I give you the same thing 0 0, not 2 2, 0 0 as the outlet stream outlet sections, where all these conditions will be denoted as u0, p0, v0 and sorry, v0 has to be 0. Let us consider z0, where from we have measured our thing z1. So, therefore, z0 is equal to 0, because from z0 0 we have measured this z1. That means as if the potential energy, kinetic energy has become 0 and the fluid stream state has become to that of the surrounding. This is the most easiest way. You go through books, there are different ways, different books follow to find out the expression of the flow availability. I think this is the most easiest way how you can prove it. Let us consider the environment temperature T0. Now, the similar way you consider the way we thought in or we did in case of a closed system, that from the same environment temperature T0 some amount of heat is being added. Now, let us consider a steady state system, that means m dot is the flow which is coming through the system, consider a steady state, and we consider del q del m is the heat added, and at the same time we consider del w del m is the work done. So, whatever may be the case, we can write that from our energy balance which we did earlier on the mass basis, that U1 plus P1 V1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1 plus del Q del M is equal to U0 plus P0 V0 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2, then plus GZ2, this is minus plus del W del M, but this is 0 del W. So, del W del M is this, now we make it H1, we make it H2. Now, we can write del W del M, please, any problem you tell me, H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1 minus H0, which is the enthalpy corresponding to the dead state of the fluid stream. So, this is the equation, simple, del W del M, this plus del Q del M, which is the most important part, I am leaving it, del Q del M. Now, similar way as we did earlier, we take the entropy balance here, which is very important. Entropy balance is S2 minus S1. What is S2, what is S1? Please tell me what is S2 and what is S1 here, which is very important. That is why at the beginning you asked me, sir, entropy flow in a closed open system. What is this? S2 minus S1, small s rather, that is the specific entropy change of this flowing stream. So, I will not write S2, rather I will write S0 minus S1. So, that is the entropy increase, and the system surrounding rejects it, minus 1 by T0 del Q del M. So, this is what? This is the entropy change of the universe or delta S universe, which has to be greater than equals to 0. So, I keep the equality sign because for a reversible process which covers the for the all processes. Here you see the control volume is at steady state. Things are not being complicated by considering the control volume at unsteady state. That means the change of the entropy of this fluid flowing through it or the working system flowing through it per unit mass minus the change of entropy of the system per unit mass of the system. That means, we are considering everything per unit mass of the working system through this control volume is greater than 0. So, from which one can conclude delta Q is less than equal to T0 times S0 minus S1. So, delta Q by delta M. So, simply I will now substitute this value of delta Q by delta M here, and what I will get? I will get, if you just substitute this thing, what you will get? You will get the same thing as we did earlier, that del W del M will be less than equal to. Now, if I substitute this and if I do this little algebraic rearrangement, minus T0 S1, okay, minus H0 minus T0 S0 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. So, this is clear. What I am doing? I am just del Q del M here, these inequality relationships I am substituting here. So, I get an inequality relationship. That means, now it is clear that the maximum del W del M which we can get, that is the maximum work which pertain to the reversible process, and therefore, equality signs will be there H1. Obviously, mathematically this is the maximum value, because it is less than equals to, and physically it corresponds to that. So, this again I am writing repetition of this thing V1 square by 2 plus GZ1, all right. So, therefore, this is the expression, and by definition what is there? This is the, by definition this is the flow availability. Now, if I give this as a function, for example, psi, that means if I define now psi is equal to H minus T0 S, where H is the enthalpy, specific enthalpy, S is the specific entropy of a system in a control volume at any section, that means that inlet or outlet, then we can tell that it is psi 1 minus psi 2 plus. But if you are not bothered about the changes in the kinetic and potential energy, you can neglect it, and simply we can tell psi 1 minus psi 0, sorry, is the availability, flow availability at the inlet section 1 or any section. Outlet section, the flow availability will be psi 2 minus psi 0 if outlet section 2 is not coinciding with the section, with the surrounding environment state 0. So, this is clear. Since this part is constant, we simply tell that AF1 as if is equal to H1 minus T0 S1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. That means, at any state AF, by denoting H and S as the state variable, whether it is 1 or 2, I can write this. That means, if this H and S is different from H0 S0, and if V and Z exists, Z exists, so there is a flow availability with respect to the reference datum, where the enthalpy is H0 S0, P0, T0, all these things. That means, with reference to an environment or with respect to a reference environment, the availability of a flowing stream is defined by specific flow availability, specific flow availability as specific enthalpy minus T0 into specific entropy plus the kinetic energy per unit mass and potential energy. This part you can neglect if you neglect the changes in kinetic or potential energy. This is clear. So, therefore, now we come to the definition that flow availability, it is very, very important, specific flow availability. In solving problems, this will be very, very important, specific flow availability, specific flow availability, specific flow availability AF is H minus T0 S plus V square by 2 plus GZ. So, this is the definition of specific flow availability. So, if you go back to our control volume analysis, we will see that if we substitute these flow availabilities like this, then you will get the same relationship. Okay? Delta S universe is the same. So, therefore, now I write the all these three equations to a control volume, then it will be clear. I am not writing the diagram again. Let us consider a steady state control volume, a steady state control volume, a steady state control volume, steady state control volume, steady state control volume. Let me draw the diagram, otherwise steady state control volume. I am not giving any. So, this is inflow section 1 and this is outflow steady state. This is control volume which gives shaft work. So, when it is a steady state, I write in terms of the per unit mass del W del M as it is coming, and let heat is added from a reservoir TH. Now, you ask any questions if you have any doubt. Mass balance, this M, mass balance is M1 dot is equal to M2 dot, and because of this mass balance at exit and inlet we are writing everything per unit mass. So, therefore, mass balance equation has not to be written, this is implicit, otherwise we cannot write the energy balance or balance of exergy and other quantities in terms of mass. So, mass balance equation though I have written, so it is automatically implicit. Now, I write in terms of this energy balance. So, what is this energy balance? Energy balance is this inflow energy U1 plus P1, this you cannot see, energy, here I write energy, What is energy? U1 you have to write little small because specific things, P1 V1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1, that is the inflow energy, plus del Q del M obviously equal to, this is the easiest way of understanding, P2 V2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2 plus del W del M. So, this is the energy balance. What is exergy balance? Please tell me, what is the exergy balance? Exergy balance is similarly F1 plus del Q del M. F1 takes care of this thing. This is the specific flow energy. Similarly, F1 plus del Q del M. What is AF1? AF1 is similarly reference environment is T0, T0 S1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. I write in terms of FAF, AF1 plus del Q del M into 1 minus T0 by TH equal to what? AF2. All right. What is AF2 again? H2 minus T0 S2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2. So, these quantities together define AF2 plus del W del M minus I DIDM. DIDM. What is DIDM? DIDM is T0 into d sigma dm. That is the rate of entropy generation per unit mass. Now, what is entropy flow? As you asked at the beginning, let us write the entropy balance equation. Entropy balance equations will be what? That, please tell me what is the entropy balance equation per unit mass basis if you write entropy coming in S1. Okay, what is the entropy flow because of this? That is plus del Q by del M into 1 by TH, that is the entropy coming in, okay, is equal to entropy going out, then minus the entropy generation per unit mass. Rather, S2 will be this plus d sigma dm. Rather, S2 will be equal to S1 plus 1 by TH del Q del M plus d sigma dm. Clear? So, this you can consider as the entropy flow from the surrounding. This is the entropy flowing out, this is the entropy flowing in. So, entropy flowing out from the control volume is equal to entropy flowing into the control volume plus the entropy received because of the heat transfer process plus the d sigma dm. Clear? Any question here? Please clear. So, this is the typical entropy balance. So, you see the entropy balance and exergy balance or availability balance is the same thing. Here if you write the AF2, AF2 is AF1 plus this availability transferred in, let us consider this ATI, and availability transfer out is A2 ATO, then AF1 plus then AF2 here ATI minus ATO, that means net availability transferred in minus T0. The equations are almost same. Because of this, this is there. That means the outlet availability, specific flow availability equals to the inlet flow availability plus the transfer minus the destruction. Here outlet entropy is the inlet entropy, that is the entropy flow out is entropy flow in plus the entropy transferred in plus the generation of entropy. So, now this availability at the outlet may increase or decrease depending upon the relative values of these two. When there is a net availability transferred in, whereas the destruction is not equals to that, less than that, there will be an increase. But that increase is not in proportion by which it has come in something minus. You understand? Similar way, the entropy going out may be less than this or greater than this, depending upon whether this quantity is positive or negative. If this quantity is positive, it is greater than S1 by another more quantity, which is this because of generation. If it is less than this, it is not less by this amount, which is negative in that case, but it is by a lesser amount because some positive quantity is being added, which is the generation of entropy. That is as simple as that. In irreversible thermodynamics, there are many ways this is being defined. This is defined as entropy transferred in, this is defined as entropy flow in, entropy flow out. So, any way define it, but does not matter, but if you write the equations correctly following any particular nomenclature, things will be all right. So, this is exactly what is your availability or exergy balance for an open system vis-a-vis the exergy and availability balance of a closed system, as we discussed earlier. Now, the most important thing comes, what is meant by second law efficiency. Before that, I like to tell you that if you recapitulate the entire thing, now we see one thing, that in any natural process, the work potential of a certain quantity of energy, whether it is in the form of transit, that is heat, or it is in the form of stored energy in a system because of its state, or it is in a flowing stream of fluid because of its state. So, in three cases we have seen that availability of a closed system, specific flow availability or flow availability of an open system, and also the availability or exergy of a heat flow. We have seen all these things are continuously reduced, this work potential, because of the natural process, the interactions in a natural way with the surrounding. So, this work potential is the availability and known as quality of energy, which is being continuously reduced. Now, in any natural process, we see that this reduction is more when the process is more irreversible. That means, more and more is the irreversibility, more and more is the destruction of the work potential or quality of energy, and more is the increase of the, obviously this is a consequence of the other, one is a consequence of the other, more and more is the increase in the entropy of the universe or generation of entropy. So, less is the irreversibility, less is the destruction, less is the generation, and in the limit when the process comes to an irreversible process, then the quality is not destructed. That means, if we could have made all natural processes are reversible, so the work potential could never be destroyed, it was conserved the way the energy is conserved, and there could not be any generation of entropy. So, therefore, we see that this destruction of availability is a criterion of irreversibility, and that is why the irreversibility is defined as some reference temperature of the environment T naught into the entropy generation, all right, entropy generation. So, therefore, obviously, one gauging parameter should come which measures this departure of the process from the reversibility towards the irreversibility, and that gauging parameter is known as what is second, all right, law of second law efficiency. I am sorry, whenever people write second law, it first comes second law of thermodynamics, second law efficiency. Second law efficiency. Why it is called second law efficiency also I will tell, that is second law efficiency. What is this second law efficiency? Now, if we define this second law efficiency, let us consider first a case of a compressor, all right. Let us consider what is second law efficiency. Let us first consider a case of a compressor, where is a work, a case of a turbine for example, where there is a work producing unit. Let us consider a case of a turbine. Let us consider a case of a turbine. Rather you just leave this, I think this is odd. So, let us consider second law efficiency, second law efficiency. What is the time? Time is up. What is the time? Another 5 minutes, but I do not know whether I will be able to do it. Okay. Then let us consider the case of a turbine, a work producing device. Let us consider a turbine. What happens? There is an inflow of gas, there is an outflow of gas, 1 and 2. Okay? State 1 and state 2. Let us consider the change of kinetic and potential energy is 0. So, let H1, H2 are the specific enthalpy and let it develops del W del M amount of work, shaft work. Okay? This is the shaft work. Now, we know from the energy balance what is del W del M is H1 minus H2. That means, this is the actual work which we obtained. We measure the work, we measure H1, we measure H2, we get this. All right. Now, if we define availability at that section AF1 and availability at that section AF2, what is this? AF1 minus AF2. By the definition, please tell me, it is H1 minus T0 S1 minus H. I neglect the changes in kinetic and potential energy, that is why I have derived this. I could write this T0 S2, and this becomes is equal to H1 minus H2 minus T0, what is that? S1 minus S2. So, all right, or we can write H1 minus H2 plus T0 S2 minus. Now, before that I should have told one thing, forgotten, that the turbine is adiabatic, that means Q is 0, del Q del M is 0. That is why I can write this equation from the energy balance. All right, time is up, that is why I am in a hurry. I will repeat it again in the next class, that is why I can write. So, what is this then? Irreversibility, di dm. Why? Because this is the entropy generation of the universe, S2 minus S1, the change of entropy of the system, because it is adiabatic, there is no change of entropy of the surrounding. That means, we see that del W del M, the actual work obtained plus the irreversibility is the change in the flow availability. That means, if the process could have been reversible, it is a natural case that is irreversible, but adiabatic. But if it is a reversible adiabatic, then this term would have been 0. Then del W del M would have been exactly equal to the change in flow availability. That means, there was no destruction of availability. That means, the decrease in the flow availability, it is the availability which we are getting in terms of the work transfer. You understand? Then in that case, AF1 could have minus AF2 could have become del W del M. But in this case, it is not that. In a natural case, AF1 minus AF2 is work done plus the irreversibility. That means, this AF1 minus AF2 is described as the ideal work, ideal work, ideal work. You understand what is equals to the actual work plus the irreversibility. And with this, we define the second law efficiency eta 2 as this delta W del M actual. So, actual work is less, actual work is less than the ideal work, del W del M ideal. So, actual work is less than the ideal work by this quantity, which we can write minus di dm by del W del M. This is because the ideal work is what? Is actual work plus di dm. So, therefore, actual work is the ideal. So, therefore, we can write del W del M, this also we can write actual is ideal work. That means, the actual work which we get is less than the ideal work by the irreversibility per unit mass basis calculations. So, this is clear, this is defined as the second law efficiency. So, if the process could have been reversible, then decrease in availability could be the work, that is the ideal work. But in this case, the work is H1 minus H2, that is the work, which is the ideal work minus this thing. This is the ideal work. So, this is the ideal work del W del M ideal. This is clear? So, this way we define the second law efficiency. That means the ideal work by actual work. If the process could have been reversible, there could not be any reversibility, di dm 0, and the availability difference is equal to the enthalpy difference. That is the thing, and enthalpy difference is always equal to the work done. There is no doubt whether the process is reversible or irreversible. In case of a reversible, the enthalpy difference becomes exactly equal to the availability difference, because they are related by this quantity T0 S2 minus S1. It's clear? Which one, please? Eta 2, theoretically it can be made equal to 1. Very good and very, very intelligent question. Now, I must tell it, it's a very good question that theoretically second law efficiency can be 1, while theoretically heat engine efficiency, Carnot's efficiency can never be equal to 1. Even in a reversible process, you cannot have a 100% efficiency, Carnot's efficiency. Very good question. Whereas in second law efficiency can be 1. This is because the reversible process is not devouring the laws of physics. A frictionless system, a massless particle, an inelastic system, an inviscid fluid, these are all with the laws of physics, but which cannot be conceived in practice. So, therefore, all these systems constitute an ideal process or ideal systems. Things are reversible there. So, therefore, irreversibility is 0, and we can achieve a theoretical efficiency of second law efficiency, theoretical value of second law efficiency is 1. But if all these things are ideal, that you make a machine without friction, you make a system inviscid, you make everything free of the dissipative effect, then also you cannot have a 100% Carnot's efficiency theoretically. This is a very, very important and vital question. I will ask this question in all the time whenever I meet you in any stage of your vivabocy, including the final grand viva, because my students must answer this question. What is the difference between that? Very good question. That second law efficiency can become unity just like the efficiency of a transmission system, fluid transmission or power transmission mechanical system, efficiency of a generator or motor. But Carnot's engine cannot have 100% efficiency even in the theoretical case. So, very good question which can be related to these consequences. Okay, thank you.